Hello everyone, today I have something for sweet lovers. I will teach you cool fattening dessert with almonds, strawberries and lemon. So let's do it. And let's start with my strawberry jelly, which I put inside the dessert. I roughly chop few strawberries. No need to be precise because they will be overcooked anyways. I mix them with the juice of half lemon, 3 tablespoons of sugar and some water inside the pot. I will leave the exact recipe in the description, but keep in mind that you can adjust the amount of sugar or lemon to your taste. I cook it on medium heat until the fruit is completely soft and the liquid is reduced. Meanwhile, I soak the gelatin in the cold water for a few minutes. When the strawberries are fully cooked, I add the gelatin and mix it in. Then I transfer the mixture into my mold and leave it to set in the fridge. I'm using the shape I have, but feel free to use whatever mold you have to create a different designs. So the jelly is inside the fridge, and now let's start with my almond sponge. You will need almonds, butter, eggs, sugar and plain flour. I have almond flakes here, so I blend them into fine powder first. I whisk egg whites just like you would do for the meringue. Starting with plain egg whites and gradually adding the sugar in 3 parts as the mixture thickens. In separate bowl, I mix eggs, flour, ground almonds and butter at the end. Then, gently fold in the egg whites, adding them in batches. Be careful to mix it slowly to keep as much air in the butter as possible. The final step is spreading the butter evenly onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. I bake it at 190 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. Once baked, I let it cool down before cutting out the shapes I need. I'm using a pastry ring to match my mold, but you can also cut it with a knife if using a different shape. And the last component I need for my base is lemon mousse. You will need heavy cream, eggs, butter, lemon juice, sugar and gelatin. I start by whisking the eggs with sugar and lemon juice and then cook it gently over bain-marie until it thickens into foamy consistency. Be careful not to overcook it into scrambled eggs. At the end, it should look like something like this. I transfer the mixture into the larger bowl, add the butter and let it to cool. Meanwhile, I whip my cream. Make sure it's cold from the fridge for the best result. Just like with a sponge, I fold the whipped cream into the eggs mixture gradually, always adding the cream into the eggs, not the other way around. And now let's assemble the core. I transfer the mousse into the piping bag to make filling easier and fill my molds about halfway. Then I place my strawberry jelly on the top and finish with layer of almond sponge. And like this, I put it inside the freezer for at least few hours. For the bottom part, I will make easy almonds and butter cookie, so I get nice crunchy element. I'm using this machine, but you can easily mix it by hand in the bowl. I combine butter, eggs, almond flour, sugar and plain flour, mixing everything until well combined. I finish it by hand and then roll it out between two sheets of parchment paper. And now I can cut out my shapes with a pastry ring. If your dough is too soft, chill it in the fridge for a bit before rolling or cutting. I bake the cookies at 180 degrees Celsius until they turn a nice golden brown. And the last component will be my glaze. I will make a red color for the strawberry, but if you want to experiment, feel free to use different colors. You will need gelatin, glucose, sugar, water, cream, white chocolate and food coloring. I mix the glucose, sugar, cream and water in the pot and bring it to a boil. Then I let it cool down slightly before adding the pre-soaked gelatin. Once the gelatin melts, I pour the mixture over the white chocolate, add food coloring and mix until smooth. For best result, let it cool to around 30 degrees Celsius before using. And by the way, if you'd like to take learning to cook more seriously than just watching videos, and truly master the fundamentals of fine dining cooking and plating in structured way with my personal help, so you can cook more creatively at home without relying on recipes of others and take your cooking skills to the next level, I recommend checking out my website. There is a short video where I explain how can I help you, and if that sounds interesting, feel free to apply. I will reach out back to discuss possible options for you. Now I take my frozen mousse out of the mold and pour the glaze over the top. I'm using a plastic bottle, but you can use any method that works for you. Once fully covered, I transfer it onto my almond cookie base. For decoration, I'm using this green marzipan, which I bought, and I create leaf shapes using these molds. I finished the dessert with fresh strawberries and my marzipan leaves. This dessert is very versatile. You can change the colors, shapes, fruit, or even experiment with different spices. And let's cut it to see the results inside. That's always the exciting part. And it's perfect. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And what do you think, guys? Will you try it at home? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to learn another cool fine dessert, check out this video and learn how you can make my lemon posset with apples and caramelized nuts. Thank you for watching, guys, and I see you soon.